This is Dr. J. Smith. I'm here in Africa, but more specifically, I'm here in Ethiopia. I've been here, about 8 times. And I'm going to let this man over here, this is Dr. Amenu, Dr. Amenu. You have a PhD, and you are the General Secretary for the Mekane Yesus congregation, or you might say denomination. Tell us a little bit more about the Mekane Yesus. Who are you, what are you, and how big are you?
Thank you very, very much, Dr. J. It's great to meet you. The Ethiopian Evangelical Church, Mekane Yesus, is the largest Lutheran church in Ethiopia. We are over 12 million people in 16,000 congregations. I am the General Secretary of this church. I've been leading the church for the last 7 years as the General Secretary. So this is one of the largest evangelical church in Ethiopia.
Well, this is exciting. So this is the man that's in charge. Many of you hear secretary, you think that's another word. General secretary mean you are like the CEO of the entire denomination, which gives you an awful lot more background, and also to help us out, because the question I want to ask you is about Christianity in Ethiopia.
Yeah, thank you. Ethiopia is the oldest Christian nation in Africa. The church officially announced it since 4th century. So Ethiopia is the oldest Christian nation since 4th century. So we have kept our Christian tradition for all these 1,000 years, and we are still preaching the gospel, the saving gospel to peoples. So we claim that we are a Christian nation here, the oldest Christian nation in Africa. Yeah.
Certainly in Africa, and the oldest majority Christian nation in the world. There's no other Christian nation that's a majority Christian nation that can make the claim you just made. And the reason for that is because you have maintained your identity all of these centuries. And yet, look at where you are on the map.
Yes, Ethiopia kept its Christian tradition for all these centuries because we have a very strong tradition, Christian tradition, and Ethiopians are devoted to their Christian faith, and also they are always keep their tradition, even pay price for the Christian faith, and we've been keeping it. For instance, if we take the Lalibela, one of the oldest churches in this country.
Explain a little bit. Lalibela is a very famous name here, but most of these people don't know what you're talking about.
Lalibela is one of the rocky church which was built under, just from the rock.
In the rock itself, carved out of the rock.
Carved and also built in the rocks. So it's a very strong.
And it cannot be destroyed because of that.
It cannot be destroyed.
And it's not just one, we're talking about 11.
Yeah, 11 churches are there. And it cannot be, and it would not be destroyed.
And this is, for those of you who don't know, this is considered one of the great wonders of the world. And many people fly up there. It's up in the north part of Ethiopia. And they just carved it out down into the rock itself, the sheer rock, these cathedrals in the shape of a cross.
Yes.
To prove and to maintain that never again would the churches be destroyed in Ethiopia. And that's one of the legacies you have.
Yes, that's true. That's one of the legacies that we are proud of it. And also, when you see from above, when you see it from, from the plane, you see the cross.
Yeah.
That also shows the centrality of, the cross of our Christian faith.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what were the centuries? When were those actually carved?
It's about 11th century.
So 11th century, we're in the 21st century. They're over 1,000 years old.
Over 1,000 years, over many, many years.
So that's just part of your legacy. Today, when you look at the map, you're surrounded by Muslim countries, aren't you?
That's true.
And you talk about the fact that you're an island. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, because Ethiopia is mostly encircled by Christian, encircled by Muslim countries, and then Ethiopia claimed for centuries that Ethiopia is the island of Christianity, Christian island, because of the majority of Ethiopian Christian believers.
So what is it, about 60%? What would be the population today?
Yeah, it's according to the statistics of the country, we are over 62%.
Okay, so you still are the majority.
Yes.
And you want to maintain that majority.
Yeah, we want to maintain and we keep that and also continue preaching the gospel.
Explain the Orthodox Church and what's the difference between you as evangelicals and the Orthodox Church?
Yeah, the Orthodox Church, we call it the Mother Church, or the Evangelical. Mostly, they came out of the Orthodox Church. The Orthodox is, the Mother Church is the original church here.
Right.
And we are the Evangelicals because it's kind of reformed, kind of Orthodox. When the missionaries came to this country since 16th century, they tried to reform the Orthodox Church because of some of the practices. We have some differences. So we are evangelicals. We believe in the scriptural authority, the centrality of the scripture, and also salvation based on the work of Christ on the cross. That's our centrality. And also that's some of the differences between the Orthodox. Orthodox keep its tradition from the especially from the Coptic tradition. They kept that some of the practices. So we have some differences when it comes to practices. And also when it comes to similarity, of course, the Evangelicals and also the Orthodox believe in the Trinity. Yeah, we believe in Trinity. Both of us believe in Trinity.
Right.
We have so much commonality, of course.
So the essentials are the same.
Yes,
it's just some of the practices are different. And
right.
you are, as you mentioned, the Orthodox, Ethiopian Orthodox were amalgamated with the Egyptian Coptic Church
Yes.
for many centuries. It's just been recently that they have actually retained their own identity.
Yeah, they got their identity since 1950s, of course.
1950s, so we're not even talking 100 years ago.
No, they were under the Coptic. The patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church was under the Coptic Church. So
under the authority.
The Ethiopian Orthodox Church got its own patriarch since 1950s. Yeah.
Now, when you look at the Coptic Church in Egypt, they are only really 10% of the population. Mm-hmm. They are very much reduced and very much of a minority and oppressed a minority. And you talk to any Copts and it's horrendous, some of the stories they tell you. You are not oppressed, you are not the minority, you are still the majority in this country.
Yes.
And you've retained that majority. And one of the reasons I'm here to help you out is to help and make sure that we retain that evangelical ideal and the evangelical tenure, and to make sure that this church remains biblical.
Yes. So the evangelicals want to keep that tradition. The centrality of the evangelical teaching and also the centrality of the mission work. Evangelicals are differ with their identity that mission is churches are missionary. They preach the gospel, the saving gospel to the people of Ethiopia and beyond. It's not only here in Ethiopia. We also preach the gospel to even beyond the Ethiopian borders.
Yeah. So you send missionaries out.
Yeah, we send missionaries out into different countries.
Now, can you tell the people who are watching, there are many Christians who are going to be watching this, and one of the problems we're having right now in the 2025, the ideal that we have here as Christians is getting lost. And many people are saying, what's so important about a Christian identity? Could you help the Christians realize that there is absolute importance? Firstly, because of the history of Ethiopia, you've retained that identity since the 4th century. You actually first had Christianity enter Ethiopia in the 1st century, so even 2,000 years ago. 1,600 years you have maintained and created that identity. Help us who are not part of Ethiopia. Tell us what we need to do, how we need to retain that identity.
Thank you. It's a very, very good question. I think one of the way that Christians everywhere keep their identities to stick to the scripture teaching, to the truth of the scripture. Stick to that. Keep your tradition. And also preach these truths to others, not only just keep for ourselves, but we have to also go out and share to people who don't know these truths. So this is how Ethiopia survived in this way. One, stick to scriptural authority to going out and preaching this truth, the saving gospel to others. Not to fear, not to ashamed of it. Yeah.
Well, Teshomi, this has been good because as a Christian who comes from America, our traditions don't go very far back. Our traditions come out of Europe, and even none of us have what you have. None of us have that background that you have. None of us have the tenacity that your church has had to maintain and retain, surrounded by Muslim majority all around you, and yet you will not acquiesce. It's good for us to hear this. I'm glad you've come and shared this with us. Thank you so much, Teshomi. This has been terrific.
Thank you, Dr. J. May God bless your ministry, and we keep praying for you. And we'll be in touch as well.
We'll be in touch, and
Praise
we'll
the
continue to work together.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Teshomi and Jay here in Ethiopia. Over and out.